Arena on the campus of The Ohio State University for the 2001 NCAA Men's Gymnastics Championship. Hi, everybody. Along with 1984 Olympic gold medalist Bart Connor, I'm Chris Marlowe. 12 teams qualified for the championship here in Columbus. 6 have advanced to our final, including top-ranked Oklahoma, number 2 Ohio State, number 3 Michigan, always dangerous California, defending national champion Penn State, and the surprising Michigan State Spartans in their final year of gymnastics competition. Bart Connor, the rules of this championship.
In today's finals, no scores carry over from the preliminary rounds. There are 6 rotations, so the teams will travel to all 6 events. The scores will add up. 6 gymnasts per rotation for each team, but only the top 4 scores count for each team on each event towards their team total.
We start in rotation number 1. Oklahoma is on the vault. And here is freshman Heath Mueller from Yukon, Oklahoma. He once trained at the Bart Cotter Academy, and Bart is a good-looking youngster.
Not a bad start for Heath there on that vault. That's what you call a Sukahara in the laid-out position. He's had some ankle trouble, so he had to water down the difficulty of that vault. The start value, the difficulty value of that is a 9.3.
All right, let's go to the parallel bars. Number 2 ranked Ohio State. This is Jamie Houle, another freshman. Just missed out on Big Ten Freshman of the Year. He's very talented.
Oh, beautiful combination there. Diamondov for the half turn. He comes from the Tim Daggett Gymnastics Academy in West Springfield, Massachusetts. And he nails that pike double back. If you nail a hard dismount at this competition, you get an extra 1/10 of a point bonus from the judges.
Houle, an 8.850. Now back to the vault, another freshman, Jock Stevens from Moore, Oklahoma.
Great looking vault there for Jock. Now that's a little higher start value than the one we saw from Heath Mueller. That one is based off a 9.5 start value. His execution and form is terrific.
A couple of weeks ago, involved in a training accident when he landed on his head, but he has made a recovery. Here is Jose Palacio from Penn State. Palacios, one of the key members of Penn State's title team a year ago.
He's an extremely talented gymnast from Spain. Very solid on 4 or 5 events for Penn State normally. We'll talk about the lower scores throughout today's competition. The judges have changed the rules since Sydney, so what would normally be a 9.5 or 9.6 is going to be more like about an 8.9 or a 9.0. So the scores are much lower than what we normally expect, but that's according to the new rules, and everybody has to play by the new rules.
All right, we're off to a good start here at the 2001 NCAA Men's Gymnastics Championships. We'll continue after this. Gymnastics Championships. Last year, Penn State was 4th heading into the final rotation, but senior Brandon Stefaniak led a charge on pommel horse that stunned the gymnastics world and gave the Nittany Lions a record 10th national gymnastics title. Hi again, everybody, and welcome along with Bart Connor. I'm Chris Marlowe. Michigan, the heavy favorite a year ago, ended up finishing 2nd behind eventual champion Penn State. This time around, the number 1 team in the nation, the Oklahoma Sooners. How good are they?
Well, Chris, I couldn't be more proud because, of course, I went to the University of Oklahoma, but they're a very deep team, and most of the other coaches here acknowledge that. Mark Williams has peaked this team at the right time, and I think they're a favorite today because of their depth. Michigan looks very good, but they've had some injuries this year to some of their stars, so they're not quite as deep. And Ohio State is peaking at exactly the right time, and they're at home, and it's the NCAA championships at home, and anything can happen.
There are many ways to win a national gymnastics title. Some are obvious, and some aren't.
Yeah, today it's going to be very interesting depending on where the athletes start. Oklahoma coach Mark Williams has selected vault for their first event, typically a low-scoring event. Then they move on to the parallel bars. Michigan starts on the floor, which is a high-scoring event for them, and Ohio State starts on the parallel bars. So all of these teams will be separated throughout the field until we get about halfway through this competition. They're going to even up, and I think it's going to come down to the final performances today.
Well, certainly scoring is going to be important. Bart, take us through it.
Well, the scoring is based upon difficulty value as well as execution and exercise presentation. Half a point for exercise presentation and half a point for difficulty. I'll point out the specifics of the new rules since the Sydney Olympics as we go out throughout this competition. But it's important to note that the scores are going to be much lower than we're used to seeing in the past.
Steve Van Etten on vault for Oklahoma as we continue in the first rotation, a senior from Riverside, California.
Very nice, high floating, laid out Sukahara with a full twist. Now they've elected to do vaults with a little lower start value, but try to focus on clean execution and a good solid start for Oklahoma on vault.
9-1-2-5. Now here is Jamie Natalie, the Nissen Emery Award winner for this year. He's a senior from Hockessin, Delaware, a tremendous performer.
In contrast to the Oklahoma Sooners, Ohio State elected to start on parallel bars, which is typically one of the lowest scoring events. They're very good here with guys like Jamie Natalie and Raj Bhavsar. They go for high level of difficulty in all their exercises, and nice landing, a pike double back, and he rocks it.
And a 9-2-2-5 for Jamie Natalie.
And let me tell you, a 9-2-2-5 these days is a huge score in men's gymnastics.
Michigan on floor. Here's Brad Kenna, the junior from Barberton, Ohio.
At 9.2 in yesterday's qualifying rounds. The judges require on the floor some backward tumbling elements like those in combinations and some front tumbling elements as well. A skill like this is a requirement. In every event, the gymnasts have to fulfill element groups in each of 5 different types of skills. That there is a element group that has to be fulfilled as a requirement, a sideward or an Arabian acrobatic tumbling skill. His last tumbling run. Whip to a full, not a very difficult tumbling run.
He was a finalist on floor at the Big Tens. He scores a 9.1. 9.1 for Michigan's Brad Kenna. All right, Ohio State Buckeyes on the parallel bars. This is one of their stars, Raj Bhavsar. He's from Houston, Texas, Indian descent, and he is good. Very, very good.
Watch this move right here. Giant double back, very high. He's so light and so quick. The key in gymnastics is to be strong and light, and he has that combination for sure. Looks like their strategy's paying off in the opening rotation. Miles Avery said, we're going to go to the parallel bars and we're going to show them that we're the best in the country on this event.
Ohio State and Raj, 9-6-5-0 for Raj Bhavsar.
He has a great variety of skills in this exercise. Couple of little form breaks, but you can see the intensity in this young man's face. They're just ready to compete today. They think that they've been underrated all year. This is their chance to win a national championship at home.
Aaron Scheck from Michigan State on high bar. Scheck, a sophomore from Old Town, Idaho.
Scored an 8.95 in the qualifying round yesterday here. You're going to see a lot of these full pirouetting type moves. The gymnasts get bonus points from doing combinations in and out of those eagle giant swings. Of course, they have to do a release move like he did there. A rather simple dismount.
And he receives an 8.8. All right, we're coming back. The 2001 NCAA Men's Gymnastics Championships. Raj Bhavsar has Ohio State pumped up.
Tired of struggling with hot wax and having to shave every single day?
Gymnastics Championship. Chris Marlowe, Bart Connor, we're through one rotation. And Ohio State has got off to an outstanding start. Michigan solidly in second. Oklahoma off to a good start on a weak event. Michigan State and Cal decent scores, and Penn State struggling on the pommel horse. The Oklahoma coach is Mark Williams. He's in his second year. Back in 1991, the year Oklahoma won its last national championship, he was the top assistant, one of the bright young coaches in the country. And he will watch his men on parallel bars. Here is Gabe Hansen. He's a senior from Tulsa, Oklahoma. He's had an injury-plagued career, Bart, and he'd like to finish it off in style.
Now, Gabe is a very explosive gymnast, and sometimes that gets himself in trouble because he does a lot of wild skills, and sometimes he's a little out of control and breaks form or even flies off the apparatus. But he was solid in the all-around competition in yesterday's qualifying competition.
Has had shoulder and knee problems throughout his career.
This was one of his weakest events yesterday, but not too bad. Probably scoring the mid-8s on that.
Gabe Hansen, you called it, Bart, an 8.5. And happy with that. Let's go to the high bar, Ernest Nelson. He's a junior from Rolette, Texas.
He's one of the 3 captains on this team.
This is Ohio State's best event. They're the #1 ranked team in the country.
Oh, man. He went for that double back over the bar and missed it by a mile.
We should explain, 6 performers go on each apparatus, but you only count 4 scores, so you can have a couple of biffs, as you call them, Bart, and still get away with it.
But unfortunately for Ohio State, they already had 2 falls from one of their other performers, Michael Evans. So they need 4 solid performances on high bar if they're going to stay in the lead in the team championship so far.
Let's go over to the pommel horse. And Michigan's Tim Dare. This is his best event. He is very, very good. A senior from Burr Ridge.
Had a 9.2 yesterday in the qualifying round. Really nice body position. Whoa.
Little break there.
A little break of form and rhythm there. Showing all the necessary required elements on this event. The travels across the horse. This element here, a single leg full twisting scissor, is a common move these days. Travels down to the end and a handstand off. Okay.
This is one of the events that Michigan ranked very highly, the top team in the nation on pommel horse, so they figure to score well here. And he gets a 9.050. And Ernest Nelson, after that fall, trying to regroup. While he does, Michigan State is on the floor exercise. John Plant from Easton, Pennsylvania, the former home of Ernie Holmes, the heavyweight boxer.
Nice clean combination for the mount there. 2.5 twister to a punch front. He is very well known for his work on the pommel horse. As you can see, he's also excellent doing pommel horse type skills on the floor. The Big Ten pommel horse champion this year. Scored a 9.6 yesterday in the preliminaries, but he really has nice technique on floor as well. Why not do a few more flares?
Have you got them? Use them.
You got to be careful under the new rules, because one of the biggest changes since the Sydney Olympics is they've eliminated repetition. So you have to do certain elements from each element group, but you need a more variety of skills than you did in the past. And he's working to fulfill all those requirements, including this one right here. That V fulfills the requirement of the balance, strength, and flexibility moves. The routine has to be finished within 70 seconds. Here's his last pass. All right, not a very powerful tumbler.
So Jonathan Plant He gets an 8.8. His coach, Rick Atkinson, 12 years at Michigan State. And this is the final year. The school has told him that they will no longer have a gymnastics program. They squeezed into the final from last night's prelims, and he's hoping for a top 4 finish. Let's get back to the high bar and pick up Raj Bhavsar. We can't tell you Ernest Nelson got a 7.1, Bart. 7.1.
So this is a very important routine, not only in terms of points for Ohio State, but also in terms of morale. They've already had 2 disasters over there. Remember, the top 4 out of 6 count, so this is critical. And he's got a wild routine. Watch this move coming up here, a double over the bar. He does it beautiful. Oh, yeah.
Nicely done.
Look how aggressive he is. I really like this style. He's so quick. Whoa. A little crooked on that combination, but he's racking up bonus points with these full pirouetting moves. He does a triple at the end. Let's see if he can make it. Oh, yeah.
He's the 2nd-ranked all-arounder in the United States, which means he's great at all the skills.
Look at the power he generates on these giant swings. This is the triple. He rotates so easily. He finishes so high, probably 5-6 feet in the air when he finishes the triple flip. It's easy to spot the landing.
In the midst of rotation 2 at the 2001 NCAA Men's Gymnastics Championships. We'll be right back. NCAA Championships, men's gymnastics here in Columbus, Ohio. We're in the midst of rotation 2. Raj Bhavsar had a good routine, and yes, he did. His score 9.650. 9.650, and there is Miles Avery, the head coach for Ohio State, his #1 assistant. A little concerned right now. He's had 2 misses on high bar. The Buckeyes outstanding on high bar, but they can't afford any more, Bart.
That's just a critical event because everybody has to do big release moves to get a good score.
Here's Jay Nardelli, senior from Centerville, Virginia.
Nice one-arm combination there. Oh, he had to muscle it a little bit. Tell you one thing I like about these guys, they do dig in and grit. Here's a big release.
Oh! So that is the 3rd mistake by Ohio State on high bar, and they're going to have to count one of those. Remember, 4 of the 6 scores count, so if you miss 3, you do the math.
Of course, he loses a half a point for falling off. He doesn't get the requirement of actually doing a release move, which is one of the things the judges are looking for. This is brutal for them. They had a great start on the parallel bars. Good strategy to start on that event, which they're excellent, but it's falling apart here on high bar.
8.150. Remember, they already have a 7.5 and a 7.1, so they're going to have to count Nardelli, and Raj Bhavsar knows that this event is hurting the Buckeyes. California Golden Bears. And let's pick up Andrew Hampe, well-known name in collegiate gymnastics, senior, been around for a while, from Clovis, California.
Had a 9.4 yesterday on this event here. Oh, no. That's a handspring double front, which is a very difficult vault to land. 8.95, unfortunately, for Hampe. Couldn't get the rotation around. It's a lot of stuff to do here. 3 somersaults in total, a handspring, 2 tucked front somersaults, a triple altogether, and he didn't make it all the way around.
Now back to the high bar, Ohio State's final performer. And they're happy to have their best man up, Jamie Natalie. 2nd ranked in the high bar in the United States. He's got a terrific routine.
Oh, this is an amazing set when he hits it, and they need a big routine right now. Beautiful release, double over the bar. Miles Avery said this is his kind of gymnast. He works so hard. He said you like when your star is the kind of guy who's a good example for the other teammates. Oh, very aggressive full pirouetting combinations with eagle grip. This is nice. Big dismount. Clutch performance for Ohio State. Boy, did they need that.
That should get a big score.
They're still going to have to score at least one low score, perhaps the 8-1-5 from Nardelli. This is that double over the bar. Beautiful height. Very clean execution. The dismount, a double, twisting double layout. Had to pike it down just a little bit, but this guy is a fierce competitor.
Natalie puts up the numbers, and he gets a 9.4. So that rights the ship a bit, but still Ohio State disappointing on high bar. Now, speaking of disappointing, over to the pommel horse where Michigan is in trouble. Scott Viteri, the final performer, but they have had a couple of misses. In fact, 3 bars.
They had a good start on floor exercise, which is a good event for them. We saw earlier Tim Dare, a 9.05. Evans in low 8s coming into this routine. Chris Zimmerman just before this had only an 8.25. Okay. At least he fought through that exercise.
Scott Viteri posts an 8.9. And thankfully for Michigan fans, the pommel horse is over. Rotation 2 is over. We're coming back. Who leads at the 2001 Men's Gymnastics Championships? We'll give you the scores when we come back. Championship. A reminder that the 2002 Men's Gymnastics Championships will take place next April 4th through 6th at Oklahoma University. For ticket information, please call 800-456-4665. Chris Marlowe, Bart Connor, standings through 2 complete rotations. Ohio State, despite 3 falls, still in first. Cal has moved up to second. Michigan State in third. And the 2 powerhouses, Michigan and Oklahoma, tied for 4th. Penn State continues to trail. Ohio State is on floor now. Here is Ernest Nelson.
Hoping to recover from that fall on the high bar. Good opening tumbling sequence.
How much does that affect you when you fall right before a previous event?
Oh, just on the edge there.
Yeah.
1 extra tenth of a point if he goes out of bounds. Well, it depends on the athlete. You know, some rebound and rally, and some don't, and it's a good test of what kind of character you have. Jamie Hewell already scored an 8.75 for Ohio State in this event. He was up first. Nelson is one of those guys that can score around 9.0 on about 4 or 5 events. He's a real key for Ohio State to keep them in this. They have their stars with Raj, Bhavsar, and Jamie Natalie, but you need the rest of the lineup to deliver. Oh, that was a great tumbling dismount, a full twisting double back. That'll get a pretty good score.
Good effort by Ernest Nelson. He gets an 8.9. So Nelson rebounding nicely.
Once again, people might be disappointed when they see the numbers. 8.9 is a pretty good score considering how much difficulty the judges are requiring from the athletes now. So any score over a 9.0 is outstanding these days.
Penn State's Dominic Brindle. And he sticks a ball.
Oh, boy, did he nail that.
A 9.25.
And he was a key to their success last year when they won the championship. Brindle out of England.
He was a Nissen Award finalist. Over to the parallel bars. California will send up Michael Ash. Ash from Stone Mountain, Georgia, sophomore. Cal's most consistent gymnast throughout the year.
California already has an 8.7 in this event from Tal Moskovitz. He went up first. Oh, He went for a pike double back dismount, shorter rotation. Big deductions for putting your hands down.
8.250, and the dismount costing him there.
He just rushed it off the bottom. He had plenty of nice swing. It's just that he let go a little bit early and pitched it forward. Couldn't pull the rotation around.
Over to the high bar for Oklahoma, sophomore Daniel Fernie out of New Braunfels, Texas. Former national team member.
Fernie is an exciting all-around gymnast. He's only competing on 4 events here for Oklahoma. He had knee surgery, so he's out of floor and vault for the time being. But this guy really has a nice presentation in his gymnastics. Good smooth rhythm. He does high level difficulty. Oh, beautiful release combination. 2 in a row. All right.
He gets an 8.850. Daniel Fernie.
This is a great combination. This is the laid out reverse hack, and as soon as he catches the bar, he pitches another release move, which is a backflip with a half twist. Beautiful position and great form throughout.
Michigan's on rings. Daniel Diaz-Long set to perform. He's from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, now a junior.
He's really strong, and I'll tell you, these days, that's what rings is all about, strength. That's called a Maltese cross position, where your body is horizontal. It's important to hold those strength moves 2 seconds. If you don't hold them 2 seconds, you will not get credit for the move, or perhaps even the combination. He was unlucky on pommel horse in the last rotation, had a fall. Much cleaner there.
9.050. Daniel Diaz-Long.
Talk about the importance of strength. That's an L cross position. And he's going to press from one strength move to the second strength move. And by doing those moves back to back, strength to strength, he can earn bonus points from the judges. The dismount was a double back with a full twist, not the most difficult dismount, but he got most of his bonus points from his strength moves earlier in the routine.
And now for defending NCAA champ Penn State, here's Kevin Donahue on vault. Won 5 events on vault this year. He's good.
Okay, another clean landing for Penn State over there. He's really stepped up. Here's a guy who can score around 9.0 on 4 events. That's the kind of guy you need on your team.
8.9 for Donahue. Remember, Penn State started slowly last year. Are they coming on? Stay with us. We'll find out. NCAA Men's Gymnastics Championships, along with Bart Connor. I'm Chris Marlowe. Penn State won the national championship last year. Randy Jepson is in his 10th year as the head coach, and we asked him a little earlier about his chances of repeating.
Their motto has been anything can happen, and that's the way it's been all 4 years. And, you know, last year they saw that come to fruition. You know, we pulled off the national championship. People counted us out. I think the same thing has happened this year. I don't think people necessarily expected us to even qualify. There's some good teams out there. But considering the experience we have and the fact that, you know, they've got heart, they came through, and hopefully we'll be able to, you know, make a strong run.
Penn State languishing in last place through the first 2 rotations, but his team is getting a little momentum now on vault. They've had 3 good vaults. They need a 4th, and here is Jay Kim, a sophomore from Burke, Virginia.
Boy, he is a vaulter, too. This guy can fly. Nice. That's a double twisting laid out Sukahara, and he lands far from the horse.
9.325.
Beautiful.
The highest score for Penn State tonight.
He didn't stick the vault in this competition. If you stick a vault, you get an extra 1/10 of a point back from the judges for nailing a difficult landing like that. He took a big step, but still the difficulty alone of that vault earns that high score.
So Penn State could be on the move. Back to the high bar. This is Steve Van Etten from Oklahoma. Oklahoma performing well on the high bar so far. Remember, Oklahoma starting with their weakest events and then trying to build momentum.
Oklahoma was pretty good on the parallel bars, had some slight form errors. They're slightly behind their score compared to yesterday's qualifying round, but they're looking good on high bar. Ah, beautiful. Van Etten flew off the high bar in yesterday's qualifying round and jammed his back on that release move. Made it nicely today. This will get a good score if he can put this down.
Steve Van Etten fired up. He gets a 9.1.
Once again, like on the vault, if a gymnast nails a landing of a high difficulty dismount like this, they get an extra 10th back. He took the slight step there, so he loses a 10th for that, and he misses the opportunity to get an extra 10th of a point bonus for nailing it.
Over to the parallel bars. The Mountain Pacific Sports Federation champ right here, Cody Moore, a sophomore from Scottsdale, Arizona.
Boy, and this guy is good. He does some really cool moves. I talked to him before the meet. He said he was just pumped up to be here, really excited. Oh, isn't that a great combination? Diamondov spinning out to the single rail. Really good at those Diamondov type skills. Okay, nice set. Really clean execution and good technique.
9.125 for California's Cody Moore.
Watch this Diamondov spinning out to the outside rail. You need to do a move like this on a single rail to fulfill that element group on parallel bars, and he does it with style. Nice form in this spike double back somersault, just a slight hop.
Back to the high bar. Let's pick up Ryan Hillier Jr. from State Road, North Carolina. He does 2 events, and this is one of his best.
I'll tell you one thing, he's going to do 3 release moves in a row. This is great when he can hit it. There's one.
Got 2.
Huge.
One of the coaches was telling me this guy's been on the bubble all year on the traveling squad. He just made it here to the NCAA tournament.
Just the dismount. Oh, double.
Wow.
And he drills it. Wow.
A 9.25 for Ryan Hillier. Sooner fans jacked up.
Oh, yeah,
you're not going to get that.
10, but you're not going to see those anymore. Not for a while anyway, until the gymnasts adjust to the rules. But this is a really nice double. And once again, you drill the landing, you get an extra 10th of a point back from the judges. Nice going for Hillier.
Over to the rings, Scott Viteri from Pennsburg, Pennsylvania. Considered the rings favorite here at the NCAA championship. He's brilliant.
You're not kidding. He's really as good as anybody in the world on this event. Look at the body position in these Maltese crosses and iron crosses. You need to show swing elements to handstand like that. Nice going for Viteri.
Scott Viteri gets a 9.3.
Look at that body position. He's completely parallel with the floor, and he presses from the Maltese up to what they call a flange. That strength to strength combination gives him extra bonus points from the judges. And then he swings to another strength move. Again, a Maltese with just perfect body position.
So Scott Viteri putting on a show. And the all-around, Jamie Natalie has the lead. Bobsar second, Plant Viteri, I should say, tied for third, and Struther in fifth. Rotation number 3 is over. Things are tightening up. Who's in contention for the championship? We'll tell you when we come back. Gymnastics championship. And we've got a tight race going now. Ohio State still in first. Penn State on strength of a magnificent vaulting in second. Michigan has moved up to third. Oklahoma's on the move. Michigan State and California trailing. California Golden Bears, of course, coached by the great Barry Weiner, 2 NCAA titles in 1997 and 98. Another strong team this year. Just doesn't have the memorable, the outstanding performers that he's had in the past. Well, let's take a look at Aaron Floyd, a sophomore from Maryland, and see what he can do on high bar.
Typical of Barry's teams, his gymnasts usually show really nice technique and execution. Oh, isn't that a nice combination? That full pirouette out of those inverted giant swings. Beautiful flexibility in his shoulders, allowing him to do those eagle grip swings. Nice finesse on that dismount.
And he likes it. He gets a 9. Aaron Floyd with a 9 on high bar.
Take a look at this. Is what they call an invert. He's doing a full pirouette out of it. Right up through the handstand into that straddle circle and a full pirouette. But great combination. The dismount is a double back with just a full twist. You've seen some do with a double twist, but what execution.
And now our leading team, Ohio State, the Buckeyes, with Jamie Houle. Houle, an up-and-comer who's pretty good at everything. Should be a test for Ohio State on the horse, though. Difficult event.
And he's such a lead-off guy. They put him up early in the lineup because they can count on him to deliver a solid score and build a good base where they can go from there. He's just a freshman, but the kid can do a lot of good stuff. Oh! He was going to hopefully go around one more time on that last dismount.
Said that's about it.
You can usually expect him to be pretty solid. The junior national champion back in 2000, just last year. And missed that last spin over the top of the horse to get a little more bonus.
If Michigan has a weakness, it is vault. Here is Tim Dare. Not bad.
Not bad at all. He floated that vault beautifully.
And a 9.1.
Out of a 9.3 start value to get a 9.1. Good execution.
So Kenny Keener went in front of him, an 8.65, and here is Jock Stevens, Oklahoma, on floor.
Jock is a very powerful tumbler, and a couple of weeks ago, as you mentioned earlier, in training for the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation Championships, he has slipped on the floor, gave everybody a scare. They had to haul him out of the building on a stretcher, and they x-rayed his neck and found out that everything was okay, but it was a scary moment for this young man.
Yeah, just got cleared this week to participate. Is Jock his given name, Bart?
Yeah, it is. And he's just a really explosive young gymnast. In the past, he's been sort of hot and cold, but today he's having a good day. He's so powerful on the floor. One of those quick twitch muscle fiber kind of gymnast, which makes him especially explosive on floor and vault. He can do a much harder routine, but coming back after that neck injury, it's impressive to see him doing that well here.
I think that's a good decision for Jock Stevens, a 9.1.
Mark Williams said at the beginning of the season he was going to really demand that the guys show a lot of difficulty and go for the hard moves early on, and then they're going to polish their skills as they go throughout the season. That strategy seems to have paid off because they seem comfortable with more of the complicated sequences
Oklahoma
so here at
very
these
good.
championships, they're able to really focus on polishing their technique.
I say Oklahoma very good on floor. This is where the Sooners need to make up. And now Dick Huntworth on the horse. Sophomore from Pickering, Ohio, less than 10 miles from here. Local kid.
Boy, and he is just digging through this routine. He's not very high over the pommels, but what a strong young man. He just plows through this.
They consider him the emotional leader of the team. If he gets off clean, could have a big reaction. Trying to grind his way through it.
He really is. And he's willing to dig. May not be the most beautiful style, but boy, he finishes it.
I don't fall.
I don't
fall.
Not pretty, but effective. An 8.6 for Dick Huntworth. Rotation 4 continues. We'll be back right after this. St. John Arena in Columbus, Ohio. We're in the middle of rotation 4, and you can see each team: Oklahoma on floor, Ohio State, pommel, Michigan State rings, Michigan vault, Penn State parallel bars, and Cal on the high bar. Action starting to tighten up just a bit. The Oklahoma Sooners, the #1 ranked team in the nation, sends up one of their stars, Steve Van Etten.
We saw him earlier with a great performance on the high bar. Here's a young man who's a two-time All-America athlete. All right to the line, doesn't go out of bounds. Good move. 2
good scores so far. Jock Stevens got a 9-1. Joss Landis got a 9-3. So their Sooner coaches hoping Van Etten can hit, and then counting on their cleanup gymnast, if you like, Brendan O'Neill. 4 scores count out of the 6 performers, so you need four good ones.
At the same time, Oklahoma's doing well over here on floor. Ohio State doing a terrific job over on the pommel horse.
And Michigan is starting to put up some numbers on vault. So the big 3 starting to make their moves. Van Etten.
Oh yeah, clean execution. Oklahoma knows it's getting into the second half of the meet where their confidence, you can see it building. Beautiful 2.5 twist right to the punch front.
Whoa.
Which increases the bonus value of that. And he manages to keep it in bounds. Nice execution.
So Van Etten whooping and hollering. He posts a good score. And Jamie Natalie now for Ohio State on pommel horse. Are you surprised that the Buckeyes have been this good so far?
Well, this is an event where you really have to dig in. We saw Dick Huntworth deliver an 8.6 for just grinding through that routine. Natalie is great on this event when he lets it swing. They already have 2 other scores in the mid-8s. Well, I just like this young man. He is just really intense. Look at that. He has to put the arm on that, but he manages to stylishly finish that sequence. I like the kind of gymnast that's got the skill and the technique, but when they need to just grit in and muscle it out, they got it there too. Intense.
Jamie Natalie in the 5 slot for Ohio State. They have a 9-1. They've got some mid-8s, as Bart told you. And Natalie's sure to get a big score here.
Yeah, 9-3 for Natalie with that routine, and it really pumped up that team.
All right, back to the floor. Brendan O'Neill, the best in the United States at the moment.
Great opening right hole, a little bobble on that first tumbling pass. He left out a twist on that 3rd bounding tumbling move. Oh, that was nice. Clean execution in that pass. Worth 0.5 point bonus for connecting those 3 skills.
He was the favorite a year ago in this event and didn't win. He's been the best in the country the last 2 years. Looking for his first NCAA title.
Here's a guy who's got a pin in his ankle from an ankle surgery a couple years ago. Scored a 9.475 yesterday.
Hey, average is 9.6.
He's very good at those bounding combination skills that earn bonus points. He won't score that high today because of that bobble at the beginning. But it still will be a solid score for Oklahoma there.
So Oklahoma is going to make a move, a 9.25 for O'Neal. Not his best, but still solid. And Oklahoma will have 4 very usable scores for their total. Now Raj Bhavsar. Wow, has he been spectacular tonight. Now on horse.
And internally with the Ohio State team, there's a little rivalry going on between Raj and Jamie Natalie for that all-around championship. Oh, a little break there. This guy is so quick and so strong. He can break form and get it back together without you hardly even noticing it. He really needs to work on some execution here. Tends to get a little sloppy. Okay, a lot of difficulty in that exercise, but there will be some deductions for some execution errors.
So he gets a 9-1. Bhavsar, a 9-1 for Ohio State. That's the end of rotation 4. Ohio State, Oklahoma, and Michigan starting to move. Stay with us. Back at the men's gymnastics championships. Michigan fans energized. Their team is starting to make a move. Their head coach, Kurt Golder, in his 5th year. He won a national title 2 years ago. And earlier we asked him about this team's expectations.
Last year, if anything, maybe we were a little bit too confident and too business-like. We're going in there, we're capable of winning, we should win, and it was all business. And the year before, we just let it all hang out, and we had so much fun, and things just rolled. It was real natural. So we're trying to return to let's have fun this year, and hopefully that'll work out for us.
Kurt Golder still has 6 athletes remaining from that 1999 title team. And a look at the standings through rotation 4. Ohio State is in first. Michigan is vaulted into second, followed by Oklahoma. The top 3 teams separated by less than 0.2 of a point. So the big 3 that we thought were going to battle it out are at the moment. For Michigan, here is Kenny Keener on parallel bars.
He scored only an 8.3 yesterday. He's a leadoff guy. It's so important that leadoff man set a good base score. Interesting how the rules have changed the design of the exercises. They're doing different skills and different sequences than they did last year. This is the guy 2 years ago scored a 9.85 on parallel bars at Nationals.
If you're just tuning in, the score is much lower this year because of a different scoring system. 8.4 for Kenny Keener.
Basically, the simple way to explain that is that these rules are more in line with the Olympic rules, which have also become much more difficult than they were for the last quadrennium. So for the whole world, whether you're an Olympian or whether you're a collegiate gymnast, the top routines are getting low scores.
One of the great high bar performers in the country. Ready to rock, Jose Palacios from Gijon, Spain.
Oh, nice high release. The straight body position over the bar. Look how fast he is. He really just rips through these moves. Here's a guy who is an aerospace engineer, says he wants to be an astronaut. Well, he's launched himself in the air several times on this event for sure. Wow, nice disc.
Whoa! Jose Palacios, he's been bothered by injuries all year, hasn't had the year he's expected to, and an 8.85 for Jose Palacios. We're coming back. We're going to continue with rotation 5. Ohio State, Michigan, and Oklahoma. Columbus, Ohio. We're in the middle of the 5th rotation, the 2001 Men's Gymnastics Championship. Rotation 5. And you see the teams and you see their exercises. It is tight action, less than 0.2 of a point separating the top 3 teams, Ohio State, Michigan, and Oklahoma. And now an important horse routine for Daniel Fernie.
This is important because the first 2 routines for Oklahoma were low scoring, 8.4 and 8.65. Fernie's very aggressive here. Had a 9-2 on this event yesterday. Okay. That should get a good score there. They needed that.
Good looking routine for Daniel Fernie, and he gets a 9.25. And the black shirts give him high fives. Daniel Diaz Long for Michigan on the P-bars. Interesting name. It's half Vietnamese, half Puerto Rican. Diaz Long. So he keeps them both.
Scores for Michigan on parallel bars coming into this performance: an 8-4 for Kenny Keener and 8.75 for Tim Dare. There's a nice combination there. Okay.
Kurt Golder, Mike Racanelli, Mike Burns, the coaching staff for Michigan. And they get a 8.975 from one of their stars. He's getting worn out, giving high 10s, Bart. Gonna save his strength for the 6th rotation. Let's head back to the floor exercise, and one of the top performers in the country, Cody Moore.
Boy, this kid has an interesting style. He's just a sophomore, but he has potential to score big on several pieces of equipment. Really nice, clean, and quick twisting elements.
California performing well on floor. Got 3 9s already in the bank. He's very elegant, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is, and that's the kind of gymnast that Barry Weiner tends to recruit. A very stylish kid who may not necessarily have the strength yet, but he has a good feel for the finesse and the clean presentation that will eventually get him some big scores. Fits right in with the Cal program and philosophy. Oh, look at that. Nice dismount. 2.5 twist to a front with a half, and he nailed it.
This is going to help Cal a lot.
Extra bonus points for doing that little sequence at the end.
9.6 for Cody Moore.
Man, that's the highest score of the day, I think.
I think so, too. Michigan State on vault, Tom Housley. Jonesboro, Georgia, a senior.
He had an 8.9 yesterday on his vault. All right, actually nice mechanics on that vault.
A 9 for Housley. So Housley gets a 9, back to the rings, and Jamie Natalie, the pro Buckeye crowd here in St. John Arena, is alive now. They know they need a performance from Natalie on rings.
Oh, this guy is so strong. Beautiful kip to Maltese. Another Maltese and a bounce to a cross. So far, their scores haven't been that great on rings. They have an 8.75, an 8.7, and an 8.55. So they'll need this performance and 2 other big ones at least to score well as a team on this event. Oh, yeah, look at how that nice form kick out.
And a 9-2 for Jamie Natalie, with still Raj and Lynch behind him. And some of the reaction of the Ohio State fans, they like it when their stars go, an easy cheer. Ohio State feeling it with some good performances, especially by their superstar, Jamie Natalie. Coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes. And his opponent, Mark Williams, the head man at Oklahoma. The tension in the building is palpable. The NCAA Men's Gymnastics Championships. It's all going to come down to the 6th and final rotation. Ohio State has led all the way. Oklahoma now just over 2/10 behind. Cal 3/4 of a point back. And Michigan down by 1. So it appears that Ohio State and Oklahoma are going to battle it out for the title. Oklahoma is on one of its best events, the rings, and here is Gabe Hansen, a senior from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Gabe has been an all-arounder, had a solid, consistent meet all weekend long for the Sooners. It's important to hold those strength moves, 2 seconds each. Only scored an 8.4 yesterday in this event, so he's early in the lineup for them. They have some stronger, more experienced ringmen coming up later, but it's good to get a good base.
And perhaps he can pump up the guys right behind him. The pro-Ohio State crowd is roaring with every move.
Anytime you stick a landing like that, that pumps up your teammates, that's for sure.
Michigan on the high bar. Chris Gotti. Michigan, Gotti from Massachusetts, lone freshman on the squad.
Hop full over the bar. You see a lot of these full twisting giant swing type elements. A move like that is a requirement under the new rules. Not a lot of difficulty in this routine. Good execution though.
8.450 for Chris Gotti. California will send up Dave Eskildsen on the pommel horse.
Had an 8.85 yesterday on this event. Boy, he swings it out nice. Look at that body position. Beautiful, aggressive swing, straight body line, nice technique.
High score this year is a 9. Cal could use it right now. Cal in a battle with Michigan for 3rd and could move up with some top performances.
A little struggle there on the end. Slight deduction for that.
Eskildsen, an 8.8. Back to the high bar, Daniel Diaz-Long. He is a magnificent high bar man.
That full twisting move there is called a Zhou Li Min, invented by a great Chinese gymnast about 20 years ago. We're going to see a lot of them in this current quadrennium. It's worth a 1/10 of a point bonus. Nice release.
He's considered the #1 high bar man in the country. That's what he's ranked.
Oh, unlucky on that dismount. Over-rotated.
Dismount cost him a bit, but still a 9.2 for Daniel Diaz-Long. Oklahoma needs points. Raj Bhavsar, heel vault. Ohio State trying to put the pressure on Oklahoma.
And this guy has a great vault. It's a handspring laid out front with 1.5 twists. Let's see if he can make it.
Whoa!
Huge.
That's his dad. 9.350.
That's why this is the best team meet in the country every year. You see that emotion and that intensity. He actually had to muscle this vault a little bit, but he's so strong, able to flip it over and land it nicely.
All right, we promised you Daniel Fernie, and here he is. Fernie, an experienced ringsman.
Fernie's done a nice job for the Sooners today. Has some nice strength moves in this routine. Of course, the only way you can get a decent score these days is by having a lot of intense, powerful strength moves. Last year, you could do some swing elements and get a high score, but this year, the swing elements have been devalued by the judges, so the only way you get a good score is if you do good, clean strength moves. A little shaky there. All right, he's low on that landing, but he does stick it.
9.150 for Fernie. So the Sooners hanging right with Ohio State. The Ohio State Buckeyes and the Oklahoma Sooners. Stay with us for the national championship next. This, the sixth and final rotation here in Columbus, Ohio. Along with Bart Connor, I'm Chris Marlowe. It's a battle between Ohio State and Oklahoma. The Buckeyes are on the vault. Here is it's Lynch.
Oh, that was nice.
A 9.250 for Darren Lynch.
That's a high start value vault. 9.6 if he nails it. Boy, that team is pumped up.
Miles Avery. Oh, yeah. That is a big vault.
You know, he really smartly coached this team this year. He rested some guys in the prelims yesterday and didn't waste their energy, and they look really fresh today.
And now the rings. Oklahoma's best hope, Brett Covey, Bart. He's got to hit big, very big.
Well, he has the potential to get a huge score here. He scored as high as 9.75 on this event. Beautiful positions in these strength moves. Ohio State was so strong over on the vault. Oh, a little shaky there. That was unlucky. A little shaky on that last handstand before the dismount.
10 rings competitions this year. He's won 9 of them. And the bench guys don't look too happy.
Neither does Mark Williams.
Oklahoma needed a big score. They're going to get a good score. But will it be enough? California's Cody Moore on pommel horse. California fighting for third place.
Beautiful mechanics. Nice elevation above the horse on that single pommel work. Oh, unfortunate break there of rhythm.
Cody Moore, sophomore from Scottsdale, Arizona, gets an 8.9. Jamie Natalie now. What a position to have your best guy set to vault, the Nissen Award winner.
And he can fly.
He nails it.
Fantastic.
That should do it. Ohio State, a 9.375, and Ohio State is going to win the national championship.
Boy, this is really nice. Good form in the air, high level of difficulty. That vault, when done perfectly, is worth a 9.6.
Buckeye fans know they have it. Their third national championship in men's gymnastics is on the way. The Ohio State Buckeyes finishing 6th a year ago. A big disappointment. They come through and win the title. Now California trying to hang on to 3rd place. It's not over. Michael Ash will work on the pommel horse.
He's an All-America on this event.
3rd would be an outstanding finish for California coming in.
He is the conference champion on pommel horse in 2001, the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation Conference. Boy, I like how fluidly he swings. Really nice rhythm. The impressive Cal team.
Ash gets a 9-3. Ash scores his season high. And Cal will finish 3rd, but kudos go to that man, Miles Avery, and his assistants, Arnold Kavitid-Nadza and Blaine Wilson. Ohio State, the Buckeyes reign supreme in Columbus. Yes, they have done it. The NCAA title for the Ohio State Buckeyes, 9.375 for Natalie. And Coach Miles Avery had won his first national championship as a head coach. Made much sweeter by the fact that he does it here at St. John Arena. Ohio State wins it. Scores a season high 218-125. Pre-meet favorite Oklahoma disappointing second 217-775. A bitter pill to swallow for the Sooners. Cal, a tremendous effort, 216-775, a season high by over 2 points. Michigan, Penn State, and Michigan State rounding it out. Okay, let's go down to the floor. Bart Connor standing by with the happy Buckeyes. Bart?
All right, thank you, Chris. First of all, Miles, I lost my voice screaming through this meet. That was an exciting, thrilling event. How did you get that kind of effort out of your team? You seem to save it all year long to the night of the counting.
And that was absolutely the plan. The dual meet season didn't matter. Yesterday didn't matter. Only mattered was winning championships. Big Ten, now national champions, planned perfectly, executed perfectly.
Now, how important was it to be in front of this home crowd? You had to feel that energy.
That energy, it really absolutely got us started on parallel bars. Our season's high. It helped us, lifted us to national champion on vaulting. Season high, that's the way to go.
Nice going. Now, Jamie Natalie, a fantastic career at Ohio State, and you have to feel terrific about how this ended up tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely what I wanted. I mean, the whole team, we just wanted to win one, and it's great just to go out at home, team champions.
Well, congratulations to you guys. Great effort. Raj, you were spirited the whole way.
Definitely. It's the only way to go, you know. Figured keeping my spirits up, maybe it'd rub off to everybody, and it did. You know, we did a fantastic job of just moving through this meet, just hitting sets one after the other, and it was fantastic.
We congratulate you guys on a great effort. You beat a lot of good teams out there tonight, and you peaked at exactly the right time.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Buckeyes. All right, back to you, Chris.
All right, Bart Connor, Ohio State wins its 3rd NCAA title, its first since 1996. In the individual all-around, no surprise, Jamie Natalie walks off with the title, 55-700. Raj Babsar finishes 2nd. Moore, Viteri, and Struther rounding it out. So the Ohio State Buckeyes reign supreme in the world of men's collegiate gymnastics. We hope you enjoyed it from St. John Arena. For Bart Connor, I'm Chris Marlowe. The preceding has been produced by NCAA Productions in association with ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. The Ohio State Buckeyes are national champions in men's gymnastics.